All right. I do believe that we can go ahead and get started. Thank you everybody for joining. This is Moby's Community Innovation Lecture Series. For any of you people who are not familiar, Moby, or the Mobility Open Blockchain Initiative, is a global nonprofit smart mobility consortium where we create blockchain-based standards to identify people, vehicles, businesses, and really any entity. We are building the Web3 digital infrastructure for connected vehicle and IoT commerce. And we are thrilled to have one of our members, StorX, present today. I'll quickly introduce the speaker, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. Murphy John is the Chief Commercial Officer at StorX Networks, where he leads global business development and partner initiatives with a course focused on strategic partnerships, alliances, system integrators, and service providers. Before StorX, he served as CEO at Global Cloud Infra Company in Asia, leading the company organization from its inception. Joe has more than 15 years of experience in the infrastructure and cloud market. Thank you so much, Murphy, for joining us, and I'll go ahead and turn it over to you.
Hey, Griffin, thank you very much for the introduction, lovely introduction. Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, based on what the time zones that you're joining in. I'm Murphy John, the Chief Commercial Officer at StorX. Really excited to be here presenting you to the new paradigm to the decentralized cloud storage network. I hope that we will be able to share some insight about the digital infrastructure and the decentralized cloud storage offerings that StorX is offering to its customers. Thank you very much, and let's join in. As you know, the digital, with the advent of blockchain, there has been a whole new paradigm of storage, whole new paradigm of security, infrastructure, immutability that has been brought to a lot of infrastructure. There's a lot of disruption that has been happening at a lot of places. So we have found a niche in the storage infrastructure. We found that storage is one of the niche areas that where we are concentrating on. Our co-founder, Mr. Andy Barrett, has been having 15 years experience in the cloud industries, and he has been traveling very much, talking to a lot of people, getting a lot of insight. So when this whole initiative started, we had done a lot of research. We already had a background of cloud infrastructure, and then we started digging into how cloud infrastructure can be clubbed up with blockchain to make it a very solid combination. So as any digital infrastructure grows, you must be aware that the amount of data that has been growing in the world is phenomenal. It's estimated that in the next 5 to 10 years, the growth of data would be phenomenal, and the amount of storage infrastructure that would be required would be really great. According to a Holland Tesla report that is there, it's estimated that the electric vehicle fleet will exceed from 12 million to some 970 millions in 2040. It's also estimated that the autonomous vehicles like taxis, Uber, Ola, etc., are also going to generate a huge amount of data. The anticipated usage of these vehicles would be from 30 to 40 hours compared to just 5 hours from now. So what is the challenges that is driven according to this? The self-driving vehicles or the electric vehicles which are autonomous require a large amount of data to be provided to the system so that they can do processing and make decision making. As data forms the crux of all these vehicles, it is very important to ensure that the data is delivered to the system at the right time. The data should also be available at the right speed. That means it should be located somewhere geographically very close to it, and it has to be provided securely, which means that the data which is there should be proper, and it should be ensured that there's the data has to be immutable. There should not be any proliferation of the data, or it should not be accessed by any unauthorized person, which means that it has to be really integrated. Data integrity has to be ensured for this kind of data delivery. So a very important question comes in is, what is the data and where should this data be located? As you're already aware that most of the data currently is stored at the global cloud infrastructure providers. The three major providers like AWS, Microsoft, and others are already providing 70 to 80% of the core infrastructure, which is present to the large business as whole. So what happens? What happens when you store the data at this major providers? There are two different issues that we have been facing, which was already aware of. One is the security concern that we have with major issues that we face, that since the data is located at a central place, it is prone to hackings. Also, there is another implementation issue, that is the cost, which keeps on rising. It can be easily ascertained that the cost has been growing gradually for all these providers, and we are locked into long-term contracts, which makes it really unfeasible for them to keep on increasing over the period of time. So what is the solution? So we are presenting StorX. StorX is a decentralized cloud storage network which uses blockchain to provide immutability to the data. How do we provide this kind of solution to this industry? Let's dig in. Let's see how StorX operates.
How does StorX work? User can upload the file to the StorX network using his unique login and password. In the background, the network generates a unique private key, encrypts file, and splits the files into multiple fragments, and distributes the files across independent nodes spread worldwide. To ensure redundancy of multiples, copies of these fragments are created, which ensures that if in case a node is unavailable, the data fragments could be retrieved from alternative nodes easily. Whenever users want to retrieve the files, he simply uses his login and password, which activates the private keys in background and reassembles the files and enables access. Native StorX tokens are used as the medium of payment in the network. Storage nodes are operated by individuals who have excess storage capacity and are rewarded native token StorX. In return for storage leased out to the network, storage nodes have to keep providing proof of storage to the platform.
So this is how exactly StorX works. StorX is a decentralized cloud storage. So what happens is it provides a very secured infrastructure for anyone who wants to look at storing critical data. What happens is whenever you upload a data to the storage network, the data is first encrypted, and this encrypted data is then divided into small fragments of data. Multiple copies of this fragmented data are then distributed across all the nodes, which are spread across worldwide. So what happens is, because the data is encrypted, no individual node operators can have access to the complete data, because all the node operators are actually storing just a minute part of data. Even StorX itself as a network cannot access the user data. The log that is generated for each user data is really unique, and no one can have the access to it. So what are the core foundations of StorX network? Basically, trustlessness. Trustlessness means we provide the system itself is to be trusted. There is no party that ensures the trust. The trust is actually provided by the system. So it's not that a person A says that the XYZ company is can be trusted and you can rely data on him. No, this is fully guaranteed by the system. The system itself is generated in such a way that it can provide trust to the system. Absolute data sovereignty. What it means is, once you upload your data to StorX, you will have absolute data sovereignty to the module. Nobody else can ever access your data. This is because of the unique architecture of the StorX environment. As I suggested, every data that is put onto the system, it can only be accessed by the user who has uploaded it, or he can give the rights for anyone else to access it. Nobody else can ever access the data, including the storage network and including the storage node operators. Decentralized. Decentralized means this is something that is really decentralized. We don't have a node which is located at a single individual data center. Our node is operated by individual node operators which are spread across breadth and length of the country. We do not promote any specific internet data center or any specific location where the node operator should be located. These nodes are uniquely located at multiple data centers fragmented across the world. High amount of data resilience. High amount of data resilience is only possible because of the unique architecture of the decentralized cloud network, which means that every fragment of the data that is gone, since multiple copies are created, it ensures that at any point of time, if a single node is gone down or a single node is not available to access the data can always be accessed from a third node, which would be storing those fragments of data. Environment friendly. We are truly environment friendly because of two reasons. One, we are on XDC network, which ensures that you are using the lowest amount of transaction or the lowest amount of energy that is used for any blockchain. I will cover that point in the coming slide. The other thing is, because we are using the infrastructure which is already present, we do not create any new infrastructure which is required for storing. We already use the data center which is already there present to use and store our data. Cost effective. Compared to any other ISPs, if you compare it with StorX with any traditional providers, we are at least 70 to 80% cost effective compared to these traditional ISPs. This is basically because the kind of network that we operate and the amount, the storage that we provide. Because of this, since we do not have to set up any data centers, any network, it is really cost efficient for us to provide this service so cheaply. What are the important aspects of storage decentralized network? The important aspect is truly a distributed network. That means you don't have the data which is located at a central location. So this is also one advantage that we have, is because it's distributed across everywhere and only a single fragment of data that is located, you are not prone to viruses like ransomware virus, which encrypts your data, because your data can always be located and searched from the other node, which stores your backup. You are able to access your data at any point of time. There is no single point of failure, which means that if one of the nodes goes down, you always have an alternative node which will be having your data. Open source and transparent. One of the very important things that we kept in the mind was we would be 100% open source and transparent. All our source code is open source and is available on GitHub. Anybody can go and check the GitHub link and they'll get the access to the complete code. System generated security. This is also an important aspect. The complete security that is generated in the system is generated by the system and it is guaranteed by the system. We are providing you one of the highest level of security which is present and which is available. Trustless. This means that you don't trust the network, but you trust the system which is providing you the security. The next phase. How does the storage node operators? So since storage node operators form an important aspect of the complete operations, the storage itself takes care of the network, and the storage operators, who are independent storage node operators, brings in the storage component to the network. These storage node operators are provided and spread across different parts of the countries, world, and etc. So what happens and how do we ensure the quality of the data that is provided? First of all, we ensure we do a due diligence which is there, which is always available to anybody. So what happens is whenever a node wants to join the network, we will ensure that the data that comes in the node that comes in meets a quality parameters. They can never go down in a quality parameters and then cannot be accepted by the system. So we have a very strict quality control measure when anyone wants to do and join the network. What we do is we have an IA module, artificial intelligence generated module, which keeps a track of all the nodes which are present on the network. What it does is it keeps on querying each and every node at regular interval and ensures that the data is always available. It will ensure that all the nodes are working properly, they have proper latencies, and the data that has been entrusted to them is lying in the correct format. This is something that is really very important to ensure that we provide your data efficiently, secure data efficiently, and the nodes which do not follow the parameters are strictly are made ineligible to earn any rewards. So this is a kind of method that ensures that all the node operators take care of the nodes diligently. The other thing is for every quality parameters that is confirmed by the storage node operators, we give them rewards. So all the storage node operators that come to the system, follow the parameters and qualify, are given SRX tokens as the reward. So this is one of the important aspects, and we are happy to know that we are one of the best reward programs for all our storage node operators. So what are the important parameters that we look at the nodes? First up is uptime. We ensure that all the nodes are up and running. So during the artificial intelligence, the reputation-based system that keeps a track of all the nodes keeps on tracking each and every node at every time. If any of the quality parameters like an uptime is not proper, it would give them negative marketing. And what happens is if that is marked as negative, that node operators loses the opportunity to earn SRX token, At the same time, it will not be marked as a correct node next time. So he also loses the opportunity to earn the revenue in the future. This is something that is very critical to the network. And so we always ensure that all our servers and all our nodes are up 24/7. Network response. This is another important aspect that is there, which ensures that the data and the quality of queries that are made to the system is always available. So every time we make a query to the system to ensure that all these nodes are following the proper network latency, and all of them are faster and are available in the proper network. The third one, we do a regular audit of all the contents which are there on the system. That means the AI-driven mechanism will ensure that the amount of data that has been provided to the node for storage is always present and in the right format. If the audit fails, the node will be marked as incapable to earn the rewards. So currently, what is the important is we have around 4,000 node operators which are spread worldwide. So we have this 4,000 node operators which are spread across all the world. So we have some from Asia, we have some from US, we have some from Europe, we have some from Australia. So our network operators are really spread across worldwide. So that ensures that your data is properly decentralized at all the nodes spread across the worldwide, compared to any other nodes being located at specific region or a specific IDC. So what are the use cases for StorX? So we are working with different different operators whom we are working with. These are the four various areas where we are working and providing services. One is enterprise data storage. Storing enterprise data means we are working with companies to store the critical data that has to be retrieved real time. So what happens is this is something really interesting, and this we feel can go really well with autonomous vehicles, where the data can be stored securely on cloud, on decentralized cloud, and can be accessed at different point of time. We also have a team which works with multimedia storage. That means if you have any larger multimedia files which needs to be stored securely, such as security camera data or security feeds which are there, we have storage services for that. We have a storage for private data. Private data in terms of if an individual has some very critical or sensitive data that he doesn't want to share with anyone. So we have a solution that can take care of private data. Decentralized assets. This is the newest offerings that we have been offering. So this is basically where we have partnered with a lot of Web3 companies who wants to store their NFTs and such critical data, which are Web3 data centric. So we already have partnership with two companies who are offering these services. So this is some of the comparison that we have with our peers and how we are totally working in this lines. So since we have short of time, I'll just go through what StorX has been offering. Something is crowdsourced. So the infrastructure that is providing, that's powering the storage network is 100% crowdsourced. That means we don't have a single entity, we don't have a single IDC, or we don't have a single individual who's powering the entire thing. The entire service is provided by a whole lot of individual node operators who have come together and provided this network. The entire 4,900 operators that we have are individuals and not any corporate or any corporate entity that is providing. So this ensures that you have a proper mechanism to store the data at any given point of time. Nobody can try to create an issue or try to access the data which is not. In case we have a crowdsourced infrastructure, this is secured and everybody can have the same amount of data that is spread. Node specification. The other thing that is important parameters with StorX is StorX will only accept server grade infrastructure into its network. That means nobody who is having a home computer, a laptop, or a server that is lying in the home can come to the network. The server that becomes the part of storage network has to be kept in an internet data center and has to follow the parameters which has been provided by us. So they need to have a certain amount of latency, network latency, the certain amount of network infrastructure, certain amount of server specs that is required. Only those servers are entered as storage nodes, rather than having any server's laptop that you can just plug in, or any other storage device that you can just plug in and be the storage part. The decentralized. So we are 100% decentralized, as I said above. What is the staking requirement for this any node operators to be a part of StorX network. Currently, it keeps changing depending upon the number of nodes added. Currently, it's around 15,000 SRX tokens that needs to be added to the nodes, to the staking volume to be eligible to be a network storage operator. Why is this important? This is important because if in case any of the storage node operators are not meeting the quality parameters that we have set in, they have the risk of losing this. So this is a kind of guarantee or a security deposit that a network storage operator provides for being the part of the network, and you always ensure that the quality provided is up to the mark. Currently, what is the node infrastructure that we have? It's written 4,500. This is the last figure, but this is a long figure. We currently around 4,900 node operators that are present. What is the node rewards that we provide? We provide around 9,000 SRX per year. And what is the transaction charges that is on a network? So we have one of the lowest transaction charges which is there on the network. It's around a fraction amount, a negligible amount, which is not even you can always see that amount. So it's a really fraction of a dollar. What is a utility token? We have a utility token called as SRX. So this is what we use as the backbone of the network. So anyone who wants to purchase storage in a network will have to come and pay in SRX, and we pay our node operators as in SRX. So this is a kind of the currency that runs around in the ecosystem. Okay, so which is the blockchain? We are on XinFin blockchain, which ensures that we follow some of the very strictest quality parameters that are. Our network supports around 2,000 plus transactions per second, and we are on XD-POS. In terms of energy efficiency, we are really energy efficient. I can show you in the slides which are coming up after this. And what is the current storage that we have? We are currently storing data for applications as well as for NFT storage, as I told you in the last week. This is also one of the important aspects that we have. We are really committed to the environment and sustainability. Because we are an XDC network, we have around 7.5 tons of CO2 emissions, which have been offset, and the certificate is there. In terms of energy that is used for the network, so you compare it with Bitcoin and with XDC, so we are using almost like 0.1 M. That's a very low amount compared to what Bitcoin has been using. So what are some of the members with whom we are working? Currently, we're working with a lot of enterprises. Some of the use cases that are already live is an XDC. This is a NFT platform and a marketplace which is currently live. Nextblock is a domain name registration infrastructure company which provides decentralized domain names. We are already storing that data, critical data, on our network. HelloFans is again an NFT-based platform. It stores NFT, and it's coming up with a lot of NFT offerings which are there. Block Degree is one of the very critical infrastructure which provides degree certifications for all blockchain related courses. We are storing a lot of critical data like blockchain certificates on our network. We are also part of important consortium like MOBI and ITFA. We get a lot of guidance from these kind of consortiums and support. What is the current outreach of the decentralized ecosystem? Currently, our ecosystem token, which is SRX, is being traded in the following exchanges. We are in BitTrue, we are in Globines, we are in HitBTC, we are in Liquid, we are in Bitpart. We're soon going to be listed in 2 or 3 more exchanges in a couple of months. What are the kind of storage what are the kind of support that we are providing for wallets? So wallet, we are in Decent. We are with Gorda Wallet, Epilab, and Trezor. These are the following. These are the wallets which are generally used by people to store our SRX tokens. The platform level that we are having, we are already having a platform desktop-based application which should be available for Windows, and the storage rewards are offered in SRX tokens. We also come up with a lot of bounty programs with for all our community members. So in case if the participating members come with a lot of suggestions, we offer them bounty programs. What is the milestone that we have achieved from the date of inception? Right now, from the time we have been incepted, we have around 4,000 node operators who are providing a storage. So storage is currently run by 4,900 individual storage node operators. This is one of the biggest numbers of node operators which are present in terms of quality infrastructure. If you're comparing the kind of infrastructure that is being supported, we have around 116,000 users who have onboarded in the user. They are using in them to store their personal data. We have a very efficient community of around 27,000 members, and we have a huge amount of SRX that is staked on the network. We are very ambitious in terms of storage capacity. We want to be one of the biggest storage providers in this field. So we're very serious about it, and we're committed to being one of the biggest storage providers. So how can we collaborate? We are open to a lot of collaborations with any of the members. Like we can work with you to provide cloud storage. We can provide secure cloud, decentralized cloud storage for any of the MOBI members or any consortium members who wants to store it. We also can help you in setup of node requirements. We can also establish a center of excellence for companies who are looking in for working storage on blockchain. So if any of the members are interested in establishing a center of excellence for storage, we can work with them very closely. So this is what all StorX is all about, and we would be very happy to take in any questions after that. If you have any further questions or if you have any suggestions, you can always reach us at pr@storx.io. And with that, we are open to any questions or suggestions if you have any. Griffin.
Thanks so much. We can go ahead and open it up to the wider group for Q&A. Please feel free to jump in and ask any questions that you'd like.
Hello, Murphy.
Hey.
Hi, so I'm Nate. I'm from Spartan Blockchain. I know Nikhil. He came to our university, Michigan State University. And one of my questions were, in the beginning, you're kind of mentioning a use case for EVs. How could you explain that a little further?
See, we are open to work with you. We don't have any use cases with EV right now. We told that the kind of storage infrastructure that EV wants, we are very apt for it. So we can work with, that was the second last slide that we had. We can work with any members of the consortium. If they're looking for EV, we can work with them and we can establish center of excellence with them. We can also we can also provide resources to test them any solutions that they want to. We are open for that.
And to add to that, I think if you look at the MOBI's Cytopia or the ITN initiative, we thought of collaborating of running an ITN node operator. ITN is a integrated trust network. Am I right, Griffin?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So with respect to that, that requires some of the node infrastructure. So we thought of like writing a letter of intent to run the ITN nodes on top of that.
So that was whole about in terms of any of the storage requirements or storage infrastructure requirement that MOBI or any of his partners or any of his members have, we are open to work and collaborate with them.
I wanted to ask, could you talk a little bit more about the decision to require like server grade infrastructure for storage?
Yeah. So can I know your name, sir?
It's Griffin.
Hey, Griffin. Hi. Sorry, I thought it's a new person. Okay, Griffin. What happens is there are different storage node operators which are there in the market right now. There are different decentralized cloud storage node operators which are present in the market. So in the very initial stage, we thought that we would be focusing to all the enterprise segments, and we thought that the quality of the service that we need to provide for them would really matters. So what has happened is at the crux of it, what happens is our storage, the storage node operator runs a very important role in the decentralized cloud storage. So we thought that if you're able to control the quality of the storage node operators, we are being able to control the quality of the network. So that's why we ensured that we need a server grade hardware and the IDCs. The server needs to be there in the IDC. This is because once you are in the IDC, the quality parameter, there are a lot of quality parameters that are met because of that. And when compared to any of the storage node operators, because there are a lot of storage node companies, decentralized cloud storage networks, which say that you can also plug in your home computers. You can plug in a computer, you can plug in your network device, you can plug in your storage components. So we are not in that same category. So we thought that we control the kind of network that we provide to the end users. So that's the whole idea why we wanted the server grade infrastructure to be provided by the node operator.
So then the 4,900 node operators that you have running right now are running server grade infrastructure?
Yes, they are running the server grade infrastructure. They are in certain IDCs and they are running the server grade infrastructure, and they meet the quality parameters. Actually, there were more, but there were many who always, if you see our parameters, which is available on farmers.storage.io, you can see that there's a very strict quality parameters there, and everything is open to public. So you can see like how many nodes are online, how many nodes of them are active, how many nodes are inactive. So the inactive nodes are the ones which do not meet the quality parameters and they have been made ineligible. These ineligible guys will have to work, upgrade the system or do whatever is required, and then only once the quality parameters is set in, only then they will be capable to earn rewards. Otherwise they will just be lying there.
I see. Thank you for clarifying.
Hi, this is Ben from SAE. Do you think that increases the risk of centralization?
What is your question? You mean by keeping it in this data center?
Yeah, so there aren't that many people in the world who can own and run data centers compared to storage in general. And I'm wondering if that increases the risk of centralization.
That's why I told you that this 4,900 operators who are there spread across length and length of the world. At any given point of time, you don't have a concentration of any network that is there in specific country or a location. In terms of providing, in terms of giving that centralization, decentralization, the problem is if you kind of open up this thing for the general public, like our founder has an experience of more than 15 years in cloud industry. So what happens is when we were brainstorming the quality parameters that needs to be set in for any node operator to come in, we thought that this is the minimum that we need to want. And what happens is because of this, we are able to control the quality of the service that we provide to our end user. We are not looking at any normal users who come in and given the service. We're looking at the enterprise grade customer when he comes in with the mindset that he will get certain amount of quality with the network. So that has to be guaranteed with the network. If you go in with like any home user can just plug in his computer, laptop, and be a storage node operator. But what about the resilience that we offer? He can there can be a lot of quality problems that comes in along with that. So he can just switch off. The power is not controlled. The latency is not offered. So these are some of the very important aspects that we need to be controlled when we are running an efficient network.
So this is Chris. I think there's actually a good match for the operators of the node operators of the ITN, which are large sophisticated companies running enterprise applications or technology companies, often those focused on blockchain. They're running in the testnet right now. The ITN is agnostic with respect to the cloud storage. Right now they're picking the large cloud service offerings from the big companies, but it would be interesting in the future if a member chose to do a decentralized storage option.
Yeah. We, as I said, we are open to work with any of the partners or Mobi itself to provide node services, or maybe we can guarantee, because there are a lot of nodes which are already there in the network. We can utilize them, cross-utilize them. We can do a cross-hybrid kind of thing, where we store some data for Mobi stores some data for us. So what happens is over the period of time, the network increases. The idea is to create a bigger network so that the content is stored and distributed everywhere. So it kind of creates resilience for everyone.
So I think I have a question with respect for Chris and Griffin. So for for the ITN node operation, so our blockchain network should be part of the Mobi's network, right? What is the first step towards it?
I'm sorry. Would you mind repeating that question?
Yeah. So with respect to the ITN initiative, so we run on the XDC blockchain. So so the XDC blockchain should be part of the Cytopia network. Just wanted to.
Yeah. So we should probably talk, have a separate conversation. But basically, the steps are first making sure the ITN is chain agnostic, layer 1, layer 0 chain agnostic. So the first step would be making sure that the chain that you're running on is compliant, in the sense that all of the data that's anchored on the ITN gets replicated onto the chain. So it's a matter of agreeing to abide by certain identity recognition standards, W3C standards. And then once that is done, then presumably you could sign up and run a node.
Okay. Yeah.
That would be really interesting to explore, I think.
Yeah, I've been talking to XDC blockchain code team regarding that, and we couldn't able to find a team to bring them in a call. I was talking to Griffin about this. But yeah, I'll soon set up something with respect to that. And I think we'll be pretty much compatible because we are EVM compatible chain. It's a fork of Quorum and Ethereum. And the founders came from the IBM Hyperledger project in the initial phases. So I'm sure they'll be easily integrated seamlessly.
Does anybody else have any questions? Well, in that case, then, thank you so much, both to you, Nikhil, and you, Murphy, for joining us and sharing your work with us. We will be uploading, as usual, the recording of this lecture onto our website. And that should be happening fairly shortly. And we look forward to having you all back, hopefully for our next community innovation lecture.
Awesome.
Sure. Thank you very much, Griffin, for inviting us.
Yeah. Before a closing, I would like to make a small announcement. Murphy, I think we are with respect to the enterprise storage. If you want to penetrate into the enterprise storage, with this consortium wise, or enterprises within the consortium, we need to talk the enterprise language, and we are working towards getting certified in the SOC 2 compliance as well as the HIPAA compliance. So just a announcement for the Mobi community that
so we are working on the compliances team, and we will soon be certified as SOC 2 compliant, and we are also working on HIPAA, so that makes us really a very good match for anyone who's looking for quality parameters to set it. So the only because of we can control the quality of the input that is there in terms of node operators, we're able to provide the services and get in certified.
Yeah, thank you. That's it. Thank you, Griffin, and the Mobi team for giving us the platform.
Yeah, really great for you, and really great for the opportunities for us. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for taking time out.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you again to our wonderful speakers. Please check the website later for the recording, and we hope to see you at our next innovation lecture. Thanks, everybody.
Sure. Thank you.
Have a good one.